Today, love isn't just something we experience, it's something we measure. Online, relationships are constantly evaluated through standards, checklists, and labels like the bare minimum. What once felt personal is now public, debated, and ranked. And for Gen Z, this constant stream of advice is shaping how we define relationships, often before we've even been in one.
Welcome to Love and War in a Digital Era, where I discuss whether social media is ruining the impact on future relationships.
Gen Z tend to have difficulty with disassociation and discernment. Standards on TikTok are often presented as universal truths. What one person considers basic effort becomes a moral expectation for everyone else. A text back within minutes, expensive dates, emotional availability expressed in specific ways. But relationships don't affect or function on a single scale. What feels like the bare minimum to one person might feel overwhelming or even unnecessary to another. Now granted, creators have no control on what audiences decide to receive. However, it is important for false messages or unclear messages to not be infiltrated in people's brains. And I think it is important that Gen Zers dissociate from certain messages. Much of the advice they get is unsolicited. Algorithms push couple contents regardless of whether we ask for it. Advice meant for one situation becomes applied to all situations. Context disappears, nuance is lost. Over time, people begin to doubt their own experiences, questioning whether they're settling, not because they feel unhappy, but because the internet tells them so. Now, I can't completely hate on social media. I think it has its advantages, and I think it teaches people a lot of different things. Social media has played a huge role in helping people recognize genuine red flags. Stuff like gaslighting and emotional manipulation and boundary crossing. These things were normalized at a time and now have been enlightened by some people on social media. Online conversations have given people language and validation and the confidence to leave couples and relationships that harm their mental health. The problem here is when awareness becomes absolutism, when every disagreement is labeled toxic, when every flaw is framed as a warning sign. Couples and relationships involve learning, unlearning, and growth, and not all discomfort is danger. When advice becomes rigid, it discourages communication and emotional patience. Now, we are all aware that cheating happens all over the world. However, it doesn't help that people on TikTok are posting men all cheat, or women all cheat quietly, and so on. Cheating stories as well further fuel this mindset. Viral confessions and celebrity breakups, it creates this impression that betrayal is inevitable. But just because it happens online and really loud doesn't mean it's universal. Now, standards are important, and actually, I encourage people to have boundaries. However, it's important to shape them yourself, not letting TikTok tell you what to do. Be shaped through experience and communication and self-reflection, not comparison. Growth in relationships don't always look perfect. It has mistakes in conversations and effort. Not every relationship will meet the internet's expectation, and that doesn't mean that it lacks value. In conclusion, social media can guide us, but it shouldn't govern us. It can help us recognize certain things, but not build. You are allowed to love who you want to love, and you are allowed to grow as you are. Everyone's standards are different, and standards can even evolve. And the healthiest couples are the ones shaped privately and not pressured online. Remember, you don't have to conform to love. You get to define it.